A disappointing session of trade because clearly the market volatility continues to mar us on a daily basis, and today was no different. To think of it, you thought that it's going to be a positive and a quiet session at that, with a positive bias, that is. So, positive start indeed it was, and then in the latter part of today's trading session, we drifted quite considerably, closing in at the session lows. A cut of about almost 130 points in the Nifty Futures is how we've shut shop, just about surfacing around that 14,550 level on the Nifty Futures. The breadth as well changed hands pretty swiftly in the latter part today, favoring the declines by a huge margin, about 113 F&O stocks standing to the declines on closing bell. There was no directional call today in terms of any one sector which was dragging or actually holding up. The only one space which looked good was the entire PSU pack. I mean, to think of it, given the kind of spike that you're seeing in COVID cases across the country, one would assume or think that perhaps the government's disinvestment or privatization process again would take a bit of a backseat. But some of these stocks did see very good trading bouts. Cases in point being a PNB, which held out in excess of 9% in the futures. A BOB held up by about almost 6.25% today. You had a Gale, which looked very smart, which was up about 4.8%. IDFC First was another very big mover, and BEL2, which held out quite smartly in trade. Besides that, a couple of earnings reactions as well, which the market digested. So SBI Life, which came out with its earnings just yesterday, that saw a very smart reaction, a gap up start, and managed to cling on to its gains and pretty much close at the session highs. You also had a UPL, Balkrishna Industries, RBL Bank. These were a couple of performers. On the flip side, in terms of a cluster, you had the Tata Group companies which were a laggard today. So everything from a Tata Chemical, which saw an earnings reaction after subpar numbers below what the street was anticipating, saw a double-digit cut, was down about 10 to 11% at the session lows today. And Tata Consumer, which saw a 5% crack coming in today. You had TCS as well, which was mildly soft. Titan, in any case, has been a big drag for a second consecutive day today as well. There was negative price performance on a Titan, and similar can be said about Tata Motors. That was also a relative underperformer today. Besides that, Jubilant Foodworks, that was down about 4%. Glenmark Pharma saw a dip of about 3.5%, and LT Technologies as well was a drag today, which fell about almost 8.25% or so. Come tomorrow, the important earnings to look out for is going to be the steel major Tata Steel, and given all the news flow that we've seen around steel, and as recent as yesterday, wherein you had steel mills hike prices by about 4 to 4,500 rupees per ton in just the month of May so far alone. Exports as well are expected to rise, given the kind of strong export realization that one has seen. So all eyes on Tata Steel come tomorrow as to what it delivers for Q4 and what's the commentary going forward.